You feel it, don't you? That strange, unexplainable sense that something is broadcasting to you from beyond the veil of your current reality. A whisper that comes in moments of stillness, a sensation that your life is not yet aligned with the music it was designed to play. And yet, despite that awareness, what you mostly experience is static, confusion, interference. It is not that your future has abandoned you. It is not that destiny has grown silent. No. The truth is that the signal has never stopped. What you are experiencing is the distortion of misalignment. Think of it like a radio receiver. The music is already in the air around you, perfect, symphonic, unbroken. But if your dial is just one fraction off the exact frequency, you hear nothing but noise. You may strain, you may twist the knob, you may grow frustrated, but the problem was never the absence of the music. The problem was your tuning. And right now, much of humanity lives like this, immersed in oceans of infinite potential, yet unable to decode it. The silence you hear is not emptiness. It is possibility muffled by your own calibration error. This is why you feel restless even when your life looks stable. This is why success, when you taste it, sometimes feels hollow. You are drinking water that should quench you, yet you remain thirsty. Why? Because the thirst does not come from lack of opportunity. It comes from the static of disconnection. You are out of tune with the very current designed to carry you forward. The tragedy is that most people mistake the static for truth. They think the noise is reality itself. They assume that struggle, delay, and uncertainty are natural laws when in fact, they are artifacts of mistuning. Imagine sitting in front of a grand piano, every key perfectly tuned, yet placing heavy cloth across the strings. The melody is still there, but the sound is muffled, dull, lifeless. That is your life, when you are misaligned. The brilliance of your design is already complete. The music of your future is already written. But you are listening through interference. And here lies the secret most never uncover. The static is not external. It is not an enemy outside of you. It is not the fault of fate, of society, or of chance. The interference originates within your own field. Fear generates noise. Doubt generates noise. Obsession with time, with how long it takes, generates noise. Every thought not aligned with being creates static that drowns out the guidance already being broadcast to you. But the good news is this: static is not permanent. Static is not reality. It is distortion. And distortion can be cleared. When you recognize that the signal is already perfect, already flowing, you stop begging the universe for sound and start refining your own receiver. This shift, this simple act of awareness, is the beginning of recalibration. And once the static fades, the clarity of your destiny will come through with a force so undeniable, it will feel like the universe itself has begun to speak directly into your soul. You have been taught to believe that language is built from words, that communication is carried through speech, symbols, and sound. But this is only the surface layer of reality. Beneath the visible structures of language lies a deeper system, an invisible current that never ceases to transmit. It is the language of energy, the silent dialogue between you and the field of infinite possibility. And whether you are aware of it or not, you are speaking in this language every single second of your life. Every thought you think is a transmission. Every emotion you hold vibrates outward like a signal. Every belief radiates into the quantum field, shaping the feedback that returns to you. You may imagine that you can hide what you feel, but the field is not deceived. It does not listen to your words. It listens to your resonance. You could stand in front of a mirror and say, "I am abundant, I am free." But if within you, the frequency of fear and lack vibrates stronger, the field responds to that frequency, not to your affirmations. The universe cannot be fooled because it does not respond to speech, it responds to energy. This is why people grow frustrated. They follow steps, repeat affirmations, and perform rituals, but deep down they remain entangled in the static of doubt. And so they wonder why nothing changes. The answer is simple. Their language is not aligned. Their words and their frequency are speaking two different messages. One says, I am ready, while the other hums, I am afraid. The field does not judge, it does not punish, it simply echoes back the frequency that dominates. Imagine standing near a tuning fork. Strike it, and it vibrates. Place another fork beside it tuned to the same frequency, and soon, without contact, it begins to resonate as well. This is how energy works. The world does not bend to your words, it bends to your vibration. And your vibration is not built by what you say once or twice, but by the ongoing frequency you carry, moment by moment, thought by thought. The truth is, you are already fluent in this hidden language. You just forgot. When you walk into a room and feel tension without anyone speaking, that is energy. When you sense someone's authenticity before they even finish a sentence, that is energy. When you feel drawn to an idea, a place, or a person for no logical reason, that is energy. This is the real language of creation, the silent transmission beneath appearances. And here is the most liberating part. You don't need to learn this language from scratch. You are already broadcasting. You have always been broadcasting. The only shift required is awareness. The moment you recognize that your vibration is your message, you reclaim power. No longer will you waste time repeating empty words into the void. Instead, you will refine your state, knowing that the frequency you hold is the command the universe cannot ignore. The field is not distant. It is not hidden. It is responding right now to the resonance you carry. Align with the frequency of what you seek, and life itself will translate your energy into reality. That is the true conversation, silent, constant, and unstoppable. Desire is natural. It is the spark that pushes humanity forward, the flame that drives invention, creation, and transformation. Yet within the field of energy, desire has a paradox. The more you want, the more you anchor yourself in the vibration of not having. This is the great error of wanting. It declares loudly to the universe, I do not yet possess. And the universe, precise and unyielding, simply reflects that back to you. You have felt this before. The more desperately you want something, the further it seems to drift. You want love, and yet loneliness grows louder. You want wealth and bills multiply. You want clarity and confusion deepens. Why? Because the very frequency of wanting is rooted in lack. It vibrates with absence. And the universe, impartial as a mirror, amplifies that absence. Not out of cruelty, but out of perfect resonance. Consider how a magnet works. If you hold two magnets the wrong way, they repel one another. The harder you push them together, the stronger the resistance becomes. The same happens with wanting. The more force you apply from a state of desperation, the more reality resists. Not because it denies you, but because your vibration is misaligned with reception. You are pushing from a frequency that declares separation instead of union. This is why so many people live their lives trapped in endless cycles of trying. They repeat affirmations, they visualize with intensity, but all the while, they emit the frequency of waiting, hoping, longing. And waiting, hoping, longing are not states of possession. They are states of absence. You are not calling in the reality you seek. You are rehearsing the reality you do not want. The solution, however, is not to stop desiring. The solution is to transform desire into being, to shift from I want to I am, to feel as though the outcome is already present, to embody its frequency in this very moment. This is not make-believe. It is alignment. It is like tuning, a receiver not to search for the music but to become part of the song. When you step into the frequency of having, you cease to chase, you simply receive. Think of water. The thirsty man who cries, I want water, is affirming his state of dehydration. But the one who takes a sip, who embodies the satisfaction of drinking, no longer radiates thirst. He radiates fulfillment. Which man will attract more abundance? Always the one who carries the vibration of already being quenched. This is the shift you must make. To stop radiating lack and begin embodying wholeness. Your future does not respond to your words of wanting. It responds to the state you carry. If you live in the vibration of already being the person you long to become, life cannot resist you. Because you are no longer asking, you are resonating. And resonance is reality. Wanting is error. Being is truth. And when you cross that threshold, the very thing you once chased will come chasing you. You have been taught that life is a climb, that every step toward your future must be carved from struggle, sweat, and relentless effort. Yet this is only a perception, a veil over a far greater truth. The bridge to your destiny is not waiting to be constructed. It already exists, complete and radiant, stretching from your present to the life you were designed to live. The problem is not that the bridge is missing. It is that you have been looking at the chasm instead of feeling the connection beneath your feet. Imagine a massive suspension bridge spanning a wide river. From afar, you see only the gap, the empty space, the daunting distance. You convince yourself that each plank must be laid by your hands, each cable tightened by your effort. But in reality, the bridge was already built long before you arrived. All you need to do is step onto it, trust its strength, and walk forward. This is how your future exists right now, crafted by the unseen currents of energy, by the inevitability of your design, by the forces that have always been at work in the quantum field. Most of your life has been spent staring into the abyss, measuring every inch of emptiness between now and then. You've poured energy into anxiety, planning, and fear, thinking you are constructing the bridge as you go. But this is the trap. Effort from the frequency of lack never builds. It only delays. The real bridge is not physical, it is vibrational. It is a network of frequencies, of alignments, of energetic structures that connect the point of your current self to the point of your future self. And 99% of this structure is already complete. The final 1% is awareness, trust, and attunement. This is why your attempts at struggle often feel exhausting. You are not walking an empty path. You are walking alongside the bridge, blind to its existence, forcing yourself to build what has already been made. You feel the weight, the tension, the labor, because you are resisting the very structure that wants to carry you. Step back for a moment. Imagine the bridge beneath your feet humming softly, vibrating with certainty. Imagine placing your foot on it and feeling its energy pulse in harmony with your own. That vibration is real. That bridge is real. It is waiting for your alignment, not your labor. Here lies the liberating truth. You do not need to earn the path to your future. You only need to recognize it, step onto it, and allow yourself to move forward in resonance. The bridge does not require effort. It requires attunement. It does not demand force. It demands presence. Every ounce of stress you carry is a signal that you are attempting to force what is already flowing naturally. Let go. Trust the invisible structure. Align your frequency with the bridge rather than the abyss. Once you do, the path becomes effortless. Steps that once felt impossible now become natural strides. The distance that once seemed vast collapses into immediacy. The life you were striving toward is no longer a destination. It is a current that carries you forward. You are not building the bridge, you are walking it. And with each step, the vibration of your future resonates more clearly in the present. The bridge is not a myth. It is already beneath you. The only task is to place your awareness upon it and trust the certainty that it will carry you to the life that has always been waiting. Imagine for a moment that your life is not a random series of events, but a journey, with precise coordinates, a destination already mapped in the infinite field of possibilities. This is the essence of the quantum GPS, a system that knows exactly where you are meant to arrive, even if your conscious mind believes the path is uncertain. The destination, the life you envision, the self you aspire to become, already exists as a specific vibrational point in the universe. It is fixed, immovable, and radiating its location to you at every moment. The problem is not in the destination. The problem is in the starting point. You have repeatedly signaled to the universe that your present reality is one of lack, limitation, and separation. Your inner coordinates, the ones fed to the system through your emotions, thoughts, and beliefs, are misaligned. You are entering the GPS with the wrong information, telling the universe that you are starting from a place of emptiness rather than wholeness. And as precise as the system is, it cannot reconcile a perfectly clear destination with a misreported origin. The result? A feedback loop of frustration, delay, and persistent missed turns that make you feel lost. Think about how GPS recalculates when you take a wrong turn. It does not abandon you. It simply reorients. But imagine if every turn you made was informed by doubt, fear, or impatience. The system is constantly trying to reconcile your current position with the destination, yet your self-reported coordinates keep shifting. You are walking, driving, and recalculating in circles, and the field reflects that chaos back to you. Every step taken in misalignment reinforces the sense of distance rather than closing it. This is the profound realization. The universe is not malfunctioning. Your destination is guaranteed. The system is flawless. All the guidance you need is constantly broadcasting to your energetic receiver. The only error is internal, the miscalibration of your own energy field. When your inner GPS believes that you are separate from your future, the journey appears infinite. When it recognizes that you are already connected, the journey becomes effortless. To correct this, you must update your internal coordinates. Stop defining your present by lack or limitation. Begin to feel yourself already at the starting point of alignment. Embody the state of being that matches the destination you seek. Every thought, every action, every subtle vibration must signal wholeness, clarity, and readiness. This is not pretense, it is attunement. It is recalibrating your receiver to match the frequency of your already existing future. Once recalibrated, life responds like a GPS system receiving perfect data. The path opens effortlessly. Obstacles shift, synchronicities accelerate, and guidance appears when least expected but exactly when needed. The distance collapses. The journey becomes a series of confirmations, not corrections. You no longer chase your future. You navigate it with certainty. The quantum GPS does not create your future. It reveals it. And the key to its operation lies entirely in how you set your internal coordinates. Your task is simple but profound. Realign. Trust the signal. Enter the correct starting point. Stop recalculating from a place of fear or scarcity and watch as the universe guides you, step by step, to the life that has already been mapped for you. You have been trained to perceive time and space as barriers, to believe that the life you desire exists somewhere out there, separated from you by months, years, or circumstances. But what if I told you that this separation is an illusion, a trick of perception, not a truth of existence? Your future self is not distant. It is not waiting behind mountains or across oceans. It exists right beside you, vibrating in parallel. Accessible the moment your awareness aligns. Consider light. From a distance, stars appear small and unreachable, yet the photons they emit have been traveling across the universe, touching your eyes in an instant, carrying information about worlds beyond your imagination. The distance is only apparent. The connection is immediate. Your future functions in the same way. The quantum field has already transmitted the blueprint of your life to you. The moment you remove the illusion of separation, you begin to perceive it, not in theory, not in hope, but as tangible guidance present here and now. Most of us experience life as a constant stretch towards something out there. We wait for circumstances to align, for money to arrive, for relationships to solidify, for timing to be perfect. In reality, the moment of arrival is never withheld. The only thing separating you from it is the perception that it is somewhere else. That illusion creates impatience, frustration, and effort born of misalignment. You reach for the distant horizon when, in fact, the horizon has always been within your grasp. Think of a radio. The song you long to hear is already broadcasting clearly across the airwaves. The problem is not distance, it is interference. Your focus on lack, on time, on separation, creates a fog between you and the signal. You hear fragments, static, partial melodies, but the full composition is always present. As soon as you shift your attention from distance to reception, from striving to attunement, the song becomes clear, complete, and immediate. This is the essential recalibration, to stop measuring your reality by gaps, to stop navigating life by empty spaces, and to start measuring it by presence. The universe does not delay. It does not postpone. It is continuously presenting you with the future as it exists right now. Every intuition, every impulse, every subtle inspiration is a transmission from that future self, speaking across what seems like space but is actually no space at all. The more you believe in distance, the more you reinforce it. The more you dwell on waiting, planning, or struggle, the more the separation solidifies in perception. But when you embody immediacy, when you feel that the life you desire is present now, vibrating in alignment with your own field, you collapse the distance entirely. The past, the present, and the future merge into a single thread of conscious experience, and the universe responds instantly. Distance is not reality. It is a shadow, a product of misperception. Your task is to step out of the shadow, attune your perception to the underlying truth, and recognize that what you have been chasing is already alongside you, ready to be received, understood, and integrated. The illusion fades as your awareness expands, revealing the infinite proximity of your own potential. Everything in the universe operates with precision, from the spin of electrons to the orbit of planets. There is a rhythm, a frequency, a pattern, and your life, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions is no exception. Yet most people live in dissonance, broadcasting chaos into the field of infinite possibility, wondering why their world seems misaligned. The secret is calibration. The power to harmonize yourself with the natural frequencies of existence, to fine-tune your inner instruments so that they resonate perfectly with the life that is already waiting for you. Calibration is not about forcing results. It is not about pushing harder, striving more, or attempting to manipulate outcomes. That is the method of wanting, and as we have already seen, it only reinforces absence. True calibration is subtle, precise, and deeply internal. It is a conscious adjustment of your energetic field so that every thought, feeling, and intention vibrates in alignment with the reality you are meant to receive. It is the difference between listening to static and hearing the full symphony. Imagine an intricate machine, a finely tuned oscillator spinning at its perfect frequency. A slight misalignment, a fraction of a degree off, and the system falters. The gears grind, the signal falters, the output is distorted. That is exactly how your life responds when your internal calibration is off. Small misalignments in your thoughts, emotions, or focus ripple outward, creating a cascade of interference that obscures the guidance constantly available to you. But the correction is precise, and once applied, the system flows effortlessly. The music plays and you hear it clearly. Calibration begins with awareness. You must first observe the current frequency of your own field, the vibrations you are unconsciously broadcasting into the universe. Are they grounded in fear, doubt, or impatience? Are they aligned with the truth of your future self? Or are they misreporting your starting point as one of limitation? Once you recognize the misalignment, you can adjust. Not force, not fabricate, but subtly refine. Replace doubt with certainty, anxiety with focus, separation with connection. Each adjustment strengthens the signal, silences the static, and allows the perfect frequency to dominate. This is the true mastery of life. It is not measured by how hard you work, how long you wait, or how forcefully you strive. It is measured by how accurately you align your internal state with the frequency of your highest potential. Once calibrated, the universe does not resist. Guidance becomes instantaneous, opportunities align effortlessly, and the steps toward your destiny appear as natural extensions of your being. The brilliance of calibration is that it does not require new tools, techniques, or external methods. It requires only the recognition that your system already contains the necessary components, the inherent precision, the internal compass. By tuning yourself to the correct frequency, you allow the pre-existing bridge, the already built path, and the transmitted signals of your future self to flow freely through you. Calibration is the act of harmonizing with reality, not controlling it. It is the key to turning interference into clarity, noise into melody, potential into manifestation. And once you grasp it, you will never experience life as disconnected again. There is a difference between wanting and being, between seeking and embodying. Wanting is loud, restless, and anchored in absence. Being is silent, confident, and anchored in presence. To resonate with your true potential, you must operate from the frequency of being, not the frequency of wanting. This is the subtle yet profound secret that separates those who merely chase life from those who magnetize it effortlessly. Being is not a concept. It is a state. It is the conscious choice to exist fully in alignment with your future self right now, in the present moment. Every thought, every breath, every action becomes a signal that declares, I am already where I am meant to be. In this frequency, the universe no longer requires persuasion. Doors that once seemed closed open naturally. Paths that appeared hidden illuminate without struggle. Being is the ultimate act of calibration, the tuning fork through which the music of your destiny resonates clearly. Consider a tuning fork again. Strike it once and it vibrates at a precise frequency. Place it near other forks tuned identically, and without touching they begin to resonate in harmony. This is how the frequency of being operates. When you embody it fully, it transmits a signal that aligns everything around you to the same vibration. Your environment, your circumstances, and even the people you encounter begin to mirror your inner resonance. What you once struggled to achieve now unfolds naturally, effortlessly, and beautifully. Being also dissolves the illusion of separation. When you operate from wanting, the future appears distant, as if it exists over there while you remain stuck here. But the moment you shift to being, that distance collapses. You exist in harmony with the future, and it exists in harmony with you. Your energy no longer reaches outward blindly, hoping for a response. It radiates from a place of certainty, and the field responds in kind. The act of being is the act of reception, of tuning into a reality that has always been accessible but obscured by your interference. The challenge lies in sustaining this frequency consistently. The human mind is conditioned to oscillate between doubt and certainty, fear and confidence. That is normal. But awareness is the key. The more conscious you become of your inner vibration, the more adept you are at returning to being. Each moment of presence strengthens your signal, clearing away residual static and reinforcing the bridge between now and your destined future. Being is not a state achieved through force. It is not an act of visualization or intention alone. It is the natural alignment of your internal world with the pre-existing frequencies of your external reality. To live in the frequency of being is to stop chasing, stop struggling, and stop asking. It is to step into the flow of existence as it was always meant to be experienced. Graceful, precise, and effortless. The frequency of being is the secret to receiving, the key to harmonizing, and the gateway to living a life fully in resonance with your destiny. Once you embody it, everything changes. Your steps are lighter, your mind clearer, your world aligned. And the guidance of your future self, long obscured by static, begins to flow to you with unwavering clarity.